Chapter 14. So it happened when he went into the house of one of the chief spiritual leaders on Shabbat to eat bread that they were observing him, wanting to learn. There before him was a man suffering from dropsy. Yeshua spoke to the Torah scholars and spiritual leaders, explaining to them, "Is it permitted on Shabbat to heal, or should it be forbidden?" They were quiet. He took hold of him and healed him and let him go. With that he gave answer and said to them, "Which one of you that would have a donkey or an ox fall into a pit would not haul him out right away, even on the day of Shabbat?" They agreed, not being able to respond to all this. So then he began to tell a parable to the invited guests when he noticed how they were seeking out the places of honor. He explained to them, "When you are invited by someone to a wedding banquet, do not take the place of honor, because someone more highly esteemed by your host may have been invited. Afterwards, the one who invited both you and him will come and say to you, 'Give your place to this man.' Then in shame you will head for the least honorable place. But when you are invited, go and recline at the least honorable place, so that when the one who has invited you comes, he may say to you, 'Friend, move up higher.' Then you will have honor in the sight of all who are at the table with you. For every individual who exalts himself will be humbled, but every person who humbles himself will be exalted." But he said to the man who invited him, "When you plan a dinner or banquet, do not invite your friends, or your brothers, or your relatives, or wealthy acquaintances, lest they also invite you in return and you be repaid. Instead, when you plan to give a reception, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind, because they do not have the means to repay you. But you will be blessed and rewarded at the resurrection of the righteous." When one of those reclining at a table with him heard this, he said to him, "Blessed is the one who eats bread in the kingdom of God." At that he taught him, "A certain man was planning to give a great banquet, and he invited many guests. When the banquet hour arrived, he sent his servant to call those who had accepted the invitation. 'Come now, for everything is ready.' But every one of them began to make up excuses. The first one said to him, 'I have bought a field. I need to go out and look at it. I ask you to excuse me.' Another one said, 'I have bought a yoke of oxen. I must go and try them. I ask you to excuse me.' Another one said, 'I have married a wife, and so I cannot come.' So the servant went back and reported this to his master. Then the master of the household became angry. He said to his servant, 'Go out right now into the streets and alleys of the city and bring in here the poor, the crippled, blind, and lame.' The servant said, 'Master, what you have commanded has been done, but there is still more room.' Then the master said to the servant, 'Go out along the main thoroughfares as well as the out-of-the-way hedges and compel people to come in so that my house will be filled. For I tell you that none of those people who were invited shall taste of my banquet.' Now great crowds of people were going along with him. So he turned and said to them, 'If anyone follows me and does not hate his own father and mother and wife and children and brothers and sisters, yes, and even his own life, he cannot be my disciple. Whoever does not pick up his own cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. For which of you, when he wants to build a tower, does not first sit down and calculate the cost to see if he had enough to complete it? Otherwise, after he has laid a foundation but is not able to finish, all who see it will begin to mock him, saying, 'This man began to build and was not able to finish.' Or what king going to battle against another king in war will not first sit down and decide whether he is able with 10,000 to conquer him who comes with him with 20,000. And if not, while the other is still a long way off, he sends a delegation to ask for terms of peace. So it is with every one of you. Whoever does not give up everything he possesses cannot be my disciple. Salt is good, but if salt has lost its flavor, how will you restore its salty taste? It is not fitting for the dirt heap or the manure pile, but people will just throw it away. Everyone who has ears to hear must listen.